CRM 2011 Solution Development. CRM 2011 Development and the Database. The CRM database is actually created and maintained using the CRM UI or SDK methods. SDK stands for the Software Development Kit, which contains a tremendous amount of documentation about what is supported within Microsoft CRM. It's important to note that no direct SQL access is supported to CRM tables. The only exception to this is using filtered views and SSRS for reporting. CRM maintains the SQL tables directly and stores the configuration of these tables inside the CRM database as metadata. So if you attempt to make changes to the structure of the SQL database, you can break CRM and make it impossible for it to function. There are many entities included in the out-of-box or system solution of CRM. And you want to make sure that you use these existing entities and forms for their intended purposes. You need to be aware that many of the out-of-box entities have underlying code supporting enhanced function, so it can be dangerous to retask entities rather than creating new ones. Now, we can expand on this later, but the main thing to understand is that you would not want to start using the account entity for something vastly different than the companies that you do business with and communicate with. And it would not be a good idea to retask the contact or lead entities to different types of elements. If you need to do that, it's probably better to create new entities that support exactly what you need rather than messing with these, as they have substantial enhanced function built into them. Development and the database continues. So you can create custom entities, which are files, and attributes, which are fields, as necessary. You can create custom attributes within the custom entities that you create, or within the out-of-box entities that are provided as part of the system solution, thus enhancing the capability to store the specific information you might need within those system entities. You can rename the out-of-box entities and attributes. For instance, you might choose to rename the account entity to be company and companies as a plural name. Or you might choose to take the account number and change that to company number. You cannot delete any of the system entities or attributes or out-of-box entities. CRM 2011 Development Process User Interface. Forms, views, and charts are also created within the CRM user interface. And these elements are grouped with the entity or file that they are designed to support. CRM supports the concept of multiple forms per entity so that you can tailor a form to match a particular access or job role. The formatting is very flexible. Forms also support extension in several ways, including event-based programming for onload, on-change, and on-save. We can also include web resources such as JScript libraries and graphics to add to our forms. Iframes are also supported as a way of including other applications within a global user interface for our end users. And we can modify existing or add new forms to tailor as we need. Entity views are a form of stored query, and we can create multiple entity views for different user roles. There's a number of out-of-the-box entity views included with all entities, and when we create a new entity, there are system views that are created automatically for us. You'll see more about that in another topic. Entity charts support visualization of entity data, and there's a number of charts included in the system solution. Base charts can be created quite simply within the UI, but you can also take these and export them, enhance them in XML, and re-import them to increase charting capabilities. And we can modify, copy, and create views or charts to tailor the system as needed. CRM 2011 Reporting via Excel. Excel is supported with export capabilities to allow it to be used to move data from one system to another, but also to provide reporting capabilities in a very familiar tool to your end users. Exports to Excel can be done in either static or dynamic variations. A static export is a true export of data in a spreadsheet, and it can be exported with a re-import option so that you can perform bulk editing within a spreadsheet and then reapply the changes to the database. Or you can send an Excel spreadsheet off for data enrichment and then bring it back and re-import into the system, thus updating your existing database. Dynamic exports are also supported. This builds an ODBC link to the specified CRM database with filters and column selections and the like. No data is actually stored in the worksheet, but whenever you open the Excel document, data will be extracted for the CRM database and will populate your Excel document. Dynamic pivot tables are also supported. CRM 2011 reporting via SQL Server reporting services. SSRS is used for advanced reports. There is a report wizard which creates basic SSRS reports for end users and allows them to generate internal reports without using Excel. We can also use the Business Intelligence Design Studio or Visual Studio 2010 to generate custom reports. Note that SSRS reports use something called filtered views to access data from the database. The filtered views are created for us automatically as we customize the CRM UI. These filtered views are the only direct access supported to the CRM SQL database, and they're read-only. Once you create a custom report using BIDS or Visual Studio 2010, you must upload it back into the CRM database where it will be stored. The first time you execute the report, a copy will be exported to the report server database as well. But the primary location for any CRM reports is actually within the CRM database itself. CRM 2011 Dialog Processes. Dialogs are interactive scripts that we can pre-program, and they interact with an entity's form. They can be used as telemarketing call scripts or as a way to simplify data entry for a complex form. They can be nested so that one dialog can call another. Dialogs can also call workflows, which we'll cover in the next slide. They can query CRM data and retrieve the answers for use within the dialog. They can also create other CRM records. And finally, dialogs leave detailed logs behind so you can ascertain the process. CRM 2011 Workflow Processes. Workflows are asynchronous batch processes that run using Windows Workflow Foundation. They are not interactive and do not interact with the form at all because they do run on a server in background mode. They're designed to process a single entity's record, one at a time. And workflows are grouped by their entity record or primary entity that they're associated with. They can update the record, but also update related records and create new ones in CRM. The workflow processes can also be extended with custom workflow steps that you can create using C# or basic.NET. And again, they leave a detailed log so that you can determine what happened when they ran. The CRM 2011 development process extending. Once you've used the user interface tools that we've just described to the best advantage, then you can go much further with CRM. You can create client-side extensions and web resources. They include such things as JScript, OData, JSON, Silverlight, and iframes. We can also implement server-side extensions through the use of plugins or event handlers. These are written in .NET 4.0, C# or VB.NET, and they can be configured to be either asynchronous or synchronous. They're linked to CRM to fire on specific events on a particular entity, such as add, update a record, assign the ownership of a record to another user, etc. We can also create custom workflow activities that allow us to substantially extend the capabilities of workflow processing. These are asynchronous only and would need to be written in .NET 4.0, C# or VB.NET. and they're actually called by CRM workflows created with the UI. Now, after we've gone as far as we can go with extending, you might want to consider the possibility of integrations between CRM and your ERP system to synchronize information such as pricing, customers, orders, etc. You can also build portals to provide better access for your customers and responsiveness to inquiries from your website.